and welcome to a very special Halloween mini-series from Caltrop Chronicles. Many of you may have played or are familiar with the Strahd module. We became aware of a particular way to play such module where you have to kill Strahd in one night. Now, we're not going to go ahead and start that and sit down and record for 8 hours and hope that we're done in time and in a way that we can make this episodic. We're going to do this broken up into 4 separate chapters. And tonight, for us, on Friday the 13th, we are going to start Strahd Must Die, Part 1, The Death House, Chapter 1. Before we get started, I'm Samara, your GM for the evening. I'll just go around in the order that I see on my screen. Mac, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and who you'll be playing?
I love being first. Hi, I'm Makari. I use they, them pronouns. Today and for the next 3 episodes, I will be playing Wesley Hemmings, who is a priest who runs a soup kitchen, and I won't expand on that more.
All right. Ed, or for viewers, my dad. Tell us about who you'll be playing.
The best fun
Don't
fact.
say dead. Don't say dead. Oh, okay. Hi, my name's Ed. I'm playing Gnigos. The G is silent. Who is an orc paladin who has been trapped in this place, Barovia.
All right. Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. He, him. I am going to be playing the half-elf emissary / general / agent sent by his special secret order known as Leonard Vang, the Fang. Don't laugh at him. Don't
I'm
you
not
fucking
laughing
laugh.
at him. I'm laughing with him.
Yeah,
Good.
Sure,
clearly.
that's what's
As you
happening
should.
right now. Last but certainly not least, Haelley. Who will you be playing?
Yes. Hey, howdy, hi. My name is Haelley. I go by they, them pronouns. And I will be playing Akora, a human monk who is absolutely 100% the chosen one and is going to bring the sun back to Barovia.
Okay.
That's how Barovia works, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously. I've been told my whole life I'm going to do it.
And with that, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to open our first chapter in Barovia. In a forest, as most fantasy settings seem to start. But this forest is not a forest of thick, tall, hardy trees. These trees are spindly and gnarled and crooked. And though they stretch high enough that you have to crane your neck all the way back to see, they do seem just like matchsticks as you walk a path that becomes increasingly harder and harder to see as the mist surrounding you grows thicker and thicker. Leonard, you've heard about this place, or places like it. The idea of a mist so thick you could choke on it, and maybe never draw breath again. You've been told this is where you are meant to go. You just didn't know how to get here. You went to sleep maybe last night, and you think you dreamt, but now you're not so sure that the voice that whispered to you, "Welcome," was actually a dream. And the more you walk down this path, the more you think it wasn't. Ian, why don't you go ahead and describe the character who's walking down the street, or this road?
Coming down the road is relatively tall. I mean, for half elf, not really that tall. He's like 6'2". He's got his robes mixed with leather armor covering most of his sort of tanned skin up to his face, with a scar coming over one eye and two purple. Let's go with purple eyes. Tousled brown hair, and a determined yet confident look over his face as he hikes with his walking stick that he definitely doesn't need. Looking around in the not very inviting environment is Leonard. Leonard Vang. The Fang.
Leonard Vang, you have been raised since entering your order, knowing that the highest calling any one of your order could have would be to find the crystal heart that was stolen from you so long ago. There is no one left alive who remembers seeing it in person. You know that the rumors are that it was lost to a man who retreated into a part of the world that is lost too. The world was once called Barovia, and it was less of a world and more of an area of land that existed on the other side of a forest so large it rarely got visitors. This could be Barovia. You hope it's Barovia. It seems as uninviting as you've always been told Barovia is. And I imagine this is what's circling through your head as you continue down this path that seems almost endless until the fog starts to roll away and the mist recedes and the spindly trees grow less and less, and the earth packed beneath your feet becomes studded with cobblestones and become an actual street, heading into a village of tall houses as crooked as the trees were that you just emerged from. Many of these houses are boarded over. The ones that are not do not have lights on. And you go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. First roll, easy. Uh, 12.
12. You're
Could I-
struck? Yes.
Could I use? I would like to cast Find Familiar using my one of my hexes. I kind of like pull out a little stick from my pack, and I just kind of whisper into it like, and then just kind of poof, and a crow appears. Ah, Patsy, do me a favor. Go ahead and look up and see what you can find.
All right. Go ahead and roll me another perception check.
18? No, 19.
19.
From Patsy,
All right.
the crow.
Patsy the Crow flies 1, 2, 3 circles around your head, growing steadily larger, which to you seems to indicate she hasn't found anything that close to you and has to keep going out and out before she finally circles back and gives a loud squawk. Patsy didn't see anything until she got maybe 6 or 7 blocks out from where you are and several turns away and saw 2 very small figures standing in the middle of the road.
Interesting. Thank you, Patsy. Wonderful. I'm gonna make my way over to where Patsy saw the figures.
As you get closer, you start to hear what sounds like sniffling and hiccuping and the occasional hushing. And when they finally come into view, the 2 figures that Patsy saw were a girl and a boy, both with dark hair and pale, sallow skin. The girl's hair falls to about her chest, and the boy's is cropped to about his ears. And he can't be much older than 6 or 7, and she can't be more than about 10. And he's curled into her chest, crying as she tries to hush him.
Okay, so before I say anything, have they spotted me? Like,
They seem to have not spotted you.
all right. I'd like to immediately use a different hex, the knowing hex, and open my third eye and become intuitively aware of my surroundings. And I can learn a piece of information for each creature within 30 feet of me. And I would like to know if either of them are at or below half of their hit point maximums. See if they're hurt.
They both seem to be unharmed.
Okay. Excuse me. Hello?
Both children look up very quickly at you, and the little boy cringes into her chest, and she hides him. What do you want?
I mean no harm. I bring no harm. I just would like to know roughly where I am in this wonderful country.
You're in Barovia? We're the village. Did you come from the mists?
I came through the mist.
So you're not from here.
Not really, no.
Are you here
Are you
to
both
help?
all right?
Well, and the little boy rips himself away from her arms and begins to run up to you. Yeah, we really need your help. Please help us.
Ah, don't be alarmed, little boy.
And the older girl runs after him, going, shh, Thorn, Thorn, you can't just run up, shh. And he keeps running up to you. There's like this big monster in our house and it's really scary and I don't want to go home and I can't find my mom and dad and my sister can't find them and I'm really scared of the monster and I don't want to go home anymore.
Okay. All right, child. I can see that you're having a very distressing time. you and your sister. And I would be irrepressed to not help you out.
Really?
Although you should follow your sister's advice. Strangers are dangerous.
Well, but everybody's dangerous.
That's a wonderful lesson to learn. Good. How do
you're
I say
gonna
this
help
without
us?
sounding extremely creepy? Where is your house?
Oh, it's around the corner back that way. Are you gonna come home with me?
You should not say that. At all to me.
But
Please
you
don't.
said you were gonna help.
I will help. But
So,
you should
so
follow
you're gonna come home
behind.
with me.
You should follow behind at least 30 feet.
Why?
You know how far 30 feet is.
And he thinks about it for a minute.
Does your sister?
A lot.
Good. Stay that distance away from me, and I will investigate.
All right, so you begin to move toward the direction that these two children have pointed you toward. And after you take a few steps, you feel a tug on your cloak. And the little boy has reached up and grabbed your cloak and is now clinging to you. And from behind you, you hear the older girl say, "Thorn, you can't just grab people and you touch people. You already ran up to him. Be quiet, Rose. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna scare him. He's gonna take care of us.
Both of you. You should try to be quiet. Not like me.
Okay. Shh, Rose. Be quiet. And he slaps his free hand over his mouth and keeps his hand on
makes
your
like a really loud echoing pop among the streets.
Oh, absolutely. The little girl who is not, I need to be so clear, is not yet a teenager, rolls her eyes and follows after her little brother. And as you wander your way down the street following definitely whispered directions. Turn right! No, the other way. We're going to cut away from Leonard. And our camera pulls back away from the village of Barovia, back into these spindly trees, back toward the retreating mists. But rather than follow the path that Leonard had entered through, we take a sharp left. And again, the trees thin, and between these scraggly trees are more boulders and rock faces and shale on the ground. And we hear, before we see, thud, 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 the heavy footfall of a very large individual. Gnigos, will you describe how you're walking through? It's definitely a forest to you. There's more trees than are up in your mountains, but it's not the full forest that we saw Leonard come through.
Largest right, Gnigos is almost 7 feet tall. That muscly, that round muscle, just big belly, big thighs, just big arms, not cut at all, but boom, boom, boom. And this orc is on a mission. This is a straight line. He hops over rocks that are small enough to hop over. He'll go around slightly, but he is headed in one direction without stopping. He's wearing partial plate armor. He has a great axe that is old and chipped, but it's old in terms of well used and often used, strapped to his back, with purpose and no fear.
Gnigos, as you're clipping past trees and boulders that dare to stand in your path, you can't help but remember the voice that came to you so many nights in a row. That was not the voice it was supposed to be. It was not your God. It was a soft woman's voice that kept showing you this 3-story house and saying, find them. They have what you need. Find them and end this. And you know it was a divine something. It just wasn't the right one. But a clue's a clue, right? So you kind of should find it, maybe, you guess. And so you put your head down and you walk.
Gnigos is an A to B guy, and he's angry that this was not the right God. But this is the clue, so this is what we're doing.
And so you make your way, mostly leaving the forest intact, as you two approach a city or more of a village, but I imagine it looks something like a city to you from what you're used to, with mostly 1-story high buildings with windows hanging at an angle and dust on the doorsteps. Go ahead and give me a survival check to see how long it takes you to spot this house of your dreams.
10.
10. You walk through those first few houses standing like these empty specters, and you realize they look kinda the same as the house in your dreams, but also, what's a house? How would they look different anyway? Don't they all just look the same? So you wander around for a while and you eventually find the house or the buildings that are a little larger than those first 1-story houses that you came upon. You make a couple of turns, you head back out toward those 1-story buildings.
And Gnigos now is confused. Not about what he's supposed to do, but about what's here. When Gnigos gets confused, he brings out his axe. And he's now choosing which house he's going to knock down to see if it's the right one. And if it's not, he's going to keep knocking on doors until he finds the right house.
Okay. You walk up to... Is there a particular house that catches you? Is there something that would catch Gnigos' eye about a house? Or are you just kind of swinging the axe around and whatever it lands on?
At this point, he's angry. He pulls out the axe, and what's right in front of me?
You see
Number one.
a very small, kind of ramshackled building. Maybe it's a house. You're not quite sure. It doesn't have a sign out front to tell you what it is. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll.
28.
You definitely hit this stationary building. Roll me damage, and Leonard, all of you, roll me perception checks based on hearing. Even the people we have not been introduced to yet.
Incredible.
16 damage.
Okay.
And I mean, he's not really trying. I mean, he's just knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a 25 for Akora.
Mm-hmm. Leonard.
My perception isn't bad. Where I got a nat 1 for 6.
Oh, bud.
Okay.
So,
Wesley.
2.
Ew. All right.
Amazing.
We don't see it yet, but Akora, you do hear the splintering of wood.
Oh.
All right. So your axe lands with a thud in the door, and it does buckle and splinter a little bit.
It kicks. Kicks it.
You kick your way and it gives way, and you walk in, and there's a small bed on one side, a table in the middle, and what looks like a little kitchen. Everything is perfectly neat, in perfect order. There are not clothes or dishes out of place. And there's a fine layer of dust over everything. But there is no one and nothing in sight.
Gnigos didn't even notice that. He turned, looked. Nothing here is useful to me. Is there a back door?
No.
Yet?
Yet.
At this moment, he takes a breath and turns around and goes back through the splintered doorway.
Roll me another survival check.
17.
Okay. You, I imagine angrily or at least frustratedly, walk your way past several more houses. You finally get back to the area where the houses are a little bit bigger. They look a little bit more familiar. And up ahead, you see what would be tall to a human, but is certainly not tall to you, lithe man with 2 children flanking him, walking away from you up ahead.
He approaches, not to talk to them. He approaches, watching them to see if they are the thing he's come to kill.
Roll me a wisdom, just a flat wisdom check.
That's a 9.
It's a man and 2 children. The thing you are meant to kill is a singular being. You have never seen it before. But none of the stories ever said anything about little ones.
He continues past. Didn't even break stride. This is not dangerous. The skinny man and these children continues past. Is that
Leonard.
how wide is the street? What kind of street are we talking
It's
about?
wide enough that you can pass without brushing each other.
Okay. Well, to be clear, Gnigos is going down the center of the street, and I imagine takes up a good deal of that.
So you do probably... Leonard at least feels the wind of Gnigos passing, if not gets a full shoulder check.
I'm walking down. Now you see, children, you are very bad at giving direction. Excuse. Okay.
As
Hi.
Gnigos stops.
Hello.
Are you speaking to me, elf?
I'm actually only a half elf, more an eighth of an elf, really.
Well, perhaps I can separate the two. He turns. Would that be
Excuse me?
helpful? Would that be helpful?
Help. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if we're on the wrong foot, what foot we're even are.
Gnigos, as you're looking at this skinny man and these two children,
I don't like the way I'm being, I'm being...
something kind of like stirs in the back of your mind. What stayed of your dream was the house and the voice for the most part. The rest kind of faded when you woke up. Looking at these three faces, there's something familiar about them.
Are you Strahd?
No. Who is Strahd?
Strahd
Yes,
is my
yes.
mission. Where is Strahd?
Oh, he lives in the castle is like right over there, and the little boy peeks out just the one eye looking up at you. He lives over there in that big castle. My mommy and daddy write about them. So I'm out to him sometimes, I think.
Ah, thank you, Cornelius. As you can see, we now know where Strahd is.
My name is Thorn, actually.
I must have heard you incredibly horribly.
That's Strahd's house?
Uh-huh, that big one right there. And my daddy will write some letters sometimes.
He turns and starts his straight line march to the castle.
Hey, excuse me, sir.
Elf?
Eighth of an elf. Now, could we go through the greetings phase of our relationship before you leave? At least.
Orcs greet elves with blows. Are you challenging me?
Not exactly. I'm trying to... I'll just do it. Hi, I am Leonard Vang. Some know me as the Fang. Most know me as Leonard. Do you do handshakes? No? Yes? Maybe?
He looks at your hand.
Kind of
And-
scared while you're looking at my hand like that?
Hefts his axe and is thinking about taking the hand.
All right, maybe.
Are you looking for Strahd? Is that the girl has fully not come out from behind Leonard's back? So it's just a disembodied voice.
Strahd steps forward, pushes Leonard to one side, not violently, but just to see what's that. You know Strahd?
One time he came over.
Strahd is a person?
Yeah? You're really big.
It's okay, Tara.
Oh, okay.
He reaches down, not unkindly, without asking permission, and picks her up kind of by the back.
Oh!
Show me Strahd. And he starts to carry her off to the castle in the direction. Not running, just...
Oh,
No,
Excuse me. Wait a minute. Hold. Sir. I must
Elf.
ask that you unhand that child. Eighth of an elf. I'm starting to be annoyed that you cannot seem to grasp that part. Please, put the child down.
He turns with the child up. She knows Strahd. I need Strahd.
No, my dad knows Strahd.
Where is your sire?
Probably at home.
Where is your home?
We were taking him. I can show you. Can I please stand up?
He puts her down gently for an orc. Go!
Okay. And she starts running down the street.
You're a better diplomat than I am, Tara!
Gnigos turns and follows at for what for him is a slow pace.
She takes off running. I imagine Leonard follows with Thorn at his side.
Yeah,
and you
I'm
feel
just gonna bring Thorn with me.
Thorn tugs as you're walking, tugs your cloak. It's Rose, actually.
Rose!
Uh-huh.
I'm surprised she did not correct me, as you did.
I think she was scared.
My voice can be scary to some people.
You follow after them. Rose makes pretty quick work of running the rest of the way home. She runs up the road, through a gate, up a drive, and straight into the back of what appears to be a human. Wesley, who does she run into?
Yeah, so she runs into an average height man, I'd say around 6'2" or so. Has like short afro with very like big curls. And he is kind of dressed in a like linen gray shirt with like a vest, like a sort of like lighter gray vest over top with his sleeves rolled up. We're going very like Fleabag hot priest with this, just to like get the vibes going. And just wearing normal slacks, and he has like a bandolier around on his chest that is filled with like casts that are carved out of wood, basically, that are, you can't see what is in them necessarily, but he has them on his person. And on his right arm is a tattoo of a snake that coils from like the elbow to the top of his wrist. Is that everything? I think that's everything.
You, Wesley, you are hit with not an insignificant amount of force by the body of Rose slamming into your back, and her arms wrap around you, and she goes, "There's a big man who really wants to see my dad, and I'm really scared, and he tried to take me to Strahd's castle."
Whoa, okay. Slow down. Try again.
"There's a big man who really wants to see my dad, and he's trying to see my dad and meet Strahd, and he's taking me to the castle."
Okay. Wasn't slower, but I think I caught it the second time. I look from the direction that she's coming. Do I see the big man?
You see a very large man, and maybe half a block behind him, a smaller man with Thorn accompanying him.
Okay, well, either of these could be the big man to her, I suppose. I just hold a hand up, trying to get Gnigos' attention. Hey, friend.
Is this your child?
No, it is not my child. I was told, are you looking for her father?
the child. Where's your father?
He's probably inside in the basement. Please don't pick me up again.
Strahd strolls past, and is there a back door?
There is a wrought iron gate right in front of you.
Strahd is on his best behavior, so he rattles the gate forcefully. Does it open?
It does open for you.
Goes through the gate and heading toward the house.
Wesley, you would know that Thorn and Rose have both said that the monster they're afraid of is also in the basement.
Okay. Could I roll an insight check? Cause listen, the kid said her dad was in the basement and also the monster was in the basement. Do I get the sense that those are one and the same?
No.
Okay.
Even without an insight check, you've heard both Rose and Thorn talk about their dad using, like...
The dad and the monster
different
separately.
terminology.
Okay,
Yeah.
heard that. Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. Okay. I'll just, like, start, like, walking after Gnigos. I think I might be accompanying you to the basement, trying to, quell the fears of the children. They think there's a monster in their basement. If you're headed down there, why don't we do it together?
Do as you please.
I'll
Sorry.
follow in.
Excuse me. Hi. I have another child with me.
Hi.
There's a
Are
monster
you-
in the basement. Yes?
That is what I've been told. Also, we're looking for a father that happens to be in the basement as well.
He sometimes goes in the basement, yeah. He kind of, like, goes there a lot.
Sure. Where is is the cellar door near us?
There is no cellar door. There is just a, from what you can see, just a wrought iron fence that Gnigos has already passed through, and Wesley is about halfway through.
I guess as I follow along, can I use divine sense to see if I happen to sense any celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet of me?
Sure.
I'll just kind of
Within...
give me but a moment. What ha?
Oh, with that as that spell effect goes off, you don't sense anything.
All right. I can personally say the monster is not a demon, and it's not dead. It's also not God, but I was least
It's not.
confident that was it.
It's not dead yet.
I like your confidence.
I'm not gonna go inside until the monster is gone.
Very smart.
Can I roll, like, an investigation or a perception of some kind to see if there's, like, a sign of a monster? I don't know. If there's signs of something not human that is,
Sure.
like, the
Roll me
issue
an
here.
investigation.
Okay.
Speaking of a, someone had mentioned a cellar door. Wesley, you came here with someone else who you sent to go look for a cellar door, looking for the basement. Who walked around back and you haven't seen in a hot minute.
Okay. I think I'm, like, kind of 360ing the house to try and get a full view of it. So I think as I'm doing that, I'm also gonna keep in the back of my mind, like, as I'm rounding the back, to keep an eye out for my companion.
Mm-hmm.
I got a dirty 20 on the investigation, by the way.
So you look around, you don't see really much of anything, to be honest.
Okay.
In fact, you see almost like an absence of what you would expect to be footprints of people either tending these gardens or servants coming in and out of what you would assume is a servant's entryway somewhere around the house. But you certainly don't see like drag marks of a weird monster or claw marks or anything like that. What you do see is your companion circling around the other way. Akora, can you describe yourself?
Heck yeah. In odd juxtaposition with just about everything else in the area, Akora is bright, like yellow, essentially. She's a human, like the earliest 20s you can be, where it's still technically your 20s, but you still look like a teenager. She's smiling very excitedly. She's like tapping the house with a staff. She has bright, like towhead blonde hair. And her clothes were originally all in like light linens, tan and yellow and some soft browns, but they've all gathered an intense amount of gray from just the dirt of being in Barovia for just a tad too long. So she looks like a sunflower you stepped on a few too many times.
That's why I dress in all gray.
Yeah, you might as well give into it. As she's like walking around the corner and she's like tapping the sides of the building, you see her like kind of hop and like grab for like the eave and like think about climbing onto the roof and then drop back down.
Yeah, bad idea, Akora.
I mean, there could be something up there.
Did you find anything?
Not on the ground.
I mean, I don't know if this is looking around. I don't know if this is urgent enough that we need to go breaking into people's homes. We might be able to just knock on the front door.
But there's a monster in there.
I don't think I think this is just overactive imagination of children. I think we should still check because that's the only way they're going to get peace of mind. But I don't think we're going to find a monster in there.
So where's Gnigos in relationship to this exchange?
You're around the front of the house and you're walking up to the front doors as we speak.
And are they behind or in front?
They've come around. They're on the other side. They haven't passed through the wrought iron fence yet. They're around the side of the house.
And Rose, did she?
Rose has stopped at the fence or at the gates.
So it sounds like Gnigos is alone in the front of the house.
And Leonard, I believe, had started to pass through the gates, follow after you. Is that true?
Yeah.
So you've got Leonard pretty close behind you. Leonard, you felt just as you passed the gate, Thorn's hand let go of your cloak, and he joined his sister just at the threshold of the gate.
Can we say after that short exchange, me and Akora head over to the front.
Mm-hmm.
I think I coming back with Akora, I think I noticed like the clear divide, like the kids have stopped at the fence and Leonard and Gnigos are past it. And I turned to Rose and Thorn. You guys okay? You want to come in with us or?
No, please.
Okay. I kind of look around to the group. I feel like someone should stay out with the kids. They shouldn't be alone out there. I don't know how long it will take for us to search the basement.
No, we're okay. We'll just stay right here and wait for you. It's inside. It's not outside.
Let it be known that I should never be a parent. And I'm gonna go into my pack and pull out a dagger and hand it to the older sister. Please don't need to use this.
Okay.
But if something
if they just stay by the
tries
fence,
to
it should be
attack.
fine.
I suppose that is probably true.
Please don't make us go in.
No, you guys won't have to go in. It'll be fine.
Okay. I'll just stab whatever, if anything. I'll take care of Thorn. It's fine. I do anyway, usually.
Yeah, don't worry. We're gonna go inside, we're gonna kill a monster, and we're gonna come back outside, and you're gonna get to go home. It'll be
Okay.
great.
Yep.
You seem very enthusiastic.
Well, yeah. We're gonna go kill a monster.
And at that, you all turn down the small entryway that leads to two mahogany doors that stand currently shut in front of you.
As that exchange, deciding what was being done with the children, has happened, Gnigos was just headed straight the whole time. Didn't even pause there. However, now there's a monster. Where combat is imminent, and so you see, if you were to be looking at his face at this point, you would notice he only has one eye. That the other eye is missing. There's no eye patch. It's just missing. That begins to glow as he looks at the door and also casts divine sense, just looking for what's behind the door, what's in the house.
You get back kind of similar to what Wesley saw when he was looking for monster marks. A lack of something. You get static.
And then also using his other senses as well, track, smell, just looking for the enemy.
Roll me a perception check for the rest.
10.
You smell dust, but you've been smelling dust kind of as you've been walking through the streets of the village anyway. You smelled it most overpoweringly when you broke the door of that one home and you walked inside and there was a cloud of dust. You don't smell anything living. You don't smell a person or an animal. It seems, at least behind this door, and as far as your senses can tell you, there's nothing imminent here.
Gnigos takes a wide stance, one foot in front of the other, puts a hand on the door, looks over his shoulder just to know what's behind him, and then takes the axe and, not chopping, but with the head of the axe, a sharp blow to the door. This is how he knocks.
You go to knock. A loud, dull thud echoes through this entryway, and the door opens easily. You all hear this thud, and Akora, it's not the same splintering sound, but it does sound suspiciously like that very strange sound you heard faintly in the distance only a few minutes ago. But the doors open into a wide hall. Right across from you is a black marble fireplace, and above the fireplace are two portraits of stony-faced men and women dressed in rich finery, clearly of the aristocracy. All around, all the walls are a dark wood paneling, tooled with vines and nymphs and flowers and satyrs, and several doors. One just next to the fireplace, two to your left, and to your right is a sweeping marble staircase leading up, but there is no staircase that you can see down.
Gnigos enters, head on a swivel, just make nobody behind the door, nothing like that. Goes to the center of the room and turns to look for the girl.
The girl has not followed you in. She's still standing at the gate, or at the, at the gate.
Before heading in after Gnigos, I'll lean down to Rose. Where's the basement? Could you give general directions?
You have to go. You have to go up, and then you go down.
Okay. Are you sure it's a basement?
Mm-hmm. It's under the house.
Okay. And Wesley's just gonna nod to Akora and Leonard and start to head in after Gnigos. The girl said we have to go up and then down.
Stairs?
Akora's gonna
Ladder?
dart inside the house, knock on the door herself, and go, knock, knock! Anybody home?
Akora, the door's open.
I know, but they could be home. That's why it's unlocked.
Okay.
There's a hole
Fair.
in it.
It's just a little tent. Leonard, as you go to leave, Thorn reaches up briefly and grabs your cloak again.
Yes, child.
Goes to pull you down toward him.
Okay, child. All right.
He leans
Don't want to give me
in.
back problems this early in my life.
He cups his hands around his mouth as he leans into your ear, and he goes to whisper, "You have to find our room!"
Whisper, you
Sorry,
said?
was that her or our?
Our! We share! I'm scared of the dark.
Okay. I'm receiving many different directions. Are we going to the basement or your room?
And then he pulls back, because he's now crossed the threshold of the gate to whisper in your ear. He pulls back, and it's Rose who answers. You have to go up into our room, and the stairs down under the house are in our room.
Oh! That would have been very useful 10 minutes ago. Thank you. And I'm going to head into the house after everybody. Everyone, I know exactly what we must do. We go up to find the children's bedroom. Then we go down the stairs to the basement.
Strahd! And he charges up the stairs.
Oh. Oh, you're also here to kill Strahd? Dude! Of course, gonna chase after you.
Who is Strahd? I'm gonna whisper to Wesley.
Gnigos, hearing that, Gnigos stops, turns, and confronts Akora. You know Strahd.
Well, I mean, I read books and stuff. What?
Where is Strahd?
I don't know. I would have gone like a month ago if I knew. Do you know where? You don't know where Strahd is if you're asking. So.
Turns and continues up the stairs.
Looks back at Wesley. This guy's cool.
We need to talk about role models at some point.
Okay. Chases after Gnigos again.
I know I have a big pompous personality most of the time, but do you have any idea who this Strahd guy is?
Someone you probably don't want to meet if you don't know who he is. And I will continue after Akora and Gnigos, and I will try and, get Leonard. I'll lag behind so Leonard can keep up with me at least.
Yeah.
Right, so the first two to reach this upper hall are Akora and Gnigos. As all four of you are walking up the hall, the higher you climb up these winding stairs, the colder the air gets. Almost like there's a wind blowing down the stairs from whatever is above you. As you get to the top of the stairs, you see not quite a hall like there was at the bottom, but a very large landing area with thick red carpets over flagstone floors. Another black marble fireplace. And above this fireplace is what is very clearly a family portrait of the two children that you left downstairs. A mother standing behind them with her hands on each of their shoulders, and a man standing behind her with his hand curled around her shoulder, none of whom are smiling. Also in this room are 5 suits of armor, 2 on each side, 2 on your left, 2 on your right, and 1 right in the center of the wall, directly in front of you. They're full suits of armor, and though the carpet is thick with dust, these suits are pristine and shining. Their visors the shape of wolves' maws. On one side of the single suit of armor is a door, and on the other, an identical door. Each of these doors are intricately carved with images of children dancing.
Akora, don't touch the armor, don't touch the doors.
Akora's hand was already outstretched, wanting to touch the teeth on the helmet, and instantly snaps
Which
back.
one?
I wasn't.
Which one were you trying to touch?
The one closest to us on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Oh no. I wasn't.
Yeah, right. This doesn't look like a bedroom at all, though,
No,
right?
this is like a landing area, so you can't climb up the stairs, and there's this landing area.
Oh, okay. This
and
is
then there are
immediately
the
what we
2
see.
Doors, yes.
Climbing the stair. I understand now. Okay. Is there any kind of like indication on either of the doors with the children on them, like names or like even like an insignia or something that tells the 2 of them apart, or do they look identical?
They are identical. You can look closer if you'd like, but from what you can see just walking up, they are identical.
Could I roll investigation?
Yeah?
Awesome.
I mean, honestly, how are we supposed to get anything done in here if we're not supposed to touch any of it? You know?
Looking, Akora.
You can't.
19.
You go and you inspect both doors without touching. And as you look at these carvings looking for any sort of differentiation, personalization, something, all you get is that it's not children dancing, but children fighting off swarms of bats.
That's
Doesn't
weird.
look like there's any indication of which one is Rose and Thorn's room. Guesswork, I suppose.
Can we touch it?
We could instead, and I'm going to like wave my hand around, and then like a weird blue sheen appears on my hand, and then the same waving hand just kind of extends forward, and I'm going to mage hand. We could instead have an extension of ourselves opening the door.
Well, this Gnigos is in the middle of the landing as people are going around him and investigating, and he's watching. Here's no decision from Wesley. Leonard's doing something. You can tell he's about ready to do. Gnigos is about ready to do something.
Can I? I'm gonna try something before I feel like people are going to start touching and or hitting doors. But what knocking? Whatever
There's barely a
door that I see Leonard not turning his attention towards I'm going to attempt thaumaturgy to knock it open if it's unlocked. But I don't, just so I can do that from a distance. So which door are you going for, Ian? Did you decide?
I guess I'll do the leftmost.
Okay, so I'll go right, and I can do this from 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll do roughly the same thing with Mage Hand, trying to open my door.
Perfect. So as it's described, Mage Hand went off just slightly before Thaumaturgy did. Eerily, as the spectral hand turns the knob and a wave of energy is released from Wesley, both doors open inward at exactly the same time. On the left-hand side, both rooms appear dim, but the moment the doors open, oil lamps mounted to the walls on sconces flicker on. And on the right-hand side, you see, from where you're standing, far on the opposite end, a desk made of mahogany and a matching tall-backed chair, and just behind the desk, floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. And on the left side, you see 2 straw mattresses and very little else.
No beds in the room with the bookshelves, correct?
Not that you can see.
And 2 mattresses in mine. Or Wesley's?
The mattresses were on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe I've found mattresses.
Promising?
Gnigos doesn't know what a mattress is, but they're talking about the left room. He goes through and enters the left room.
Yeah, I actually follow Gnigos. I want to. Could I roll like an investigation to see if there's any signs of like a trap door or something in the floor, like a loose floorboard or something that might indicate there's a passageway down.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me investigation. Both, and then you'll also roll a second roll for me. But both of you, as you pass through the entryway, roll me perception as well.
My investigation was a 25.
Fabulous.
Perception 18.
All right.
Perception a 19.
We'll start with the perception first. As you walk through the door, you hear breathing from the suit of armor, the single suit of armor framed by these 2 doors. Investigation-wise, you look around the room, you see 2 straw mattresses, you even see kind of the worn divot of the bodies that used to lay here. They look too large to be children to you. Certainly too large to be these children.
Okay.
There is a single wicker chair up against one side of the room that is draped. It's coming off one side of the back, so you can see that it's kind of roughly hewn, but is draped in a white cloth. And there is again a fine layer of dust and nothing.
This doesn't seem to be the kid's bedroom at the very least. I guess we could check the bookshelves, the room with the bookshelves. Maybe there's something we missed in there.
said there were
Akora's
only 2
already in
doors.
there.
Okay.
Leonard and Akora, roll me the same perception check as you pass by the suit of armor.
Hate that.
While they're rolling Gnigos, what are you doing in the mostly empty room?
Really just taking a look. Dust is a normal thing. Sees doesn't see the divots or doesn't see the used mattresses. He's about to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the same.
And also heard the breathing, but that's behind him. He's not going to bother with it until it's in front of him.
Forgot that I also caught the breathing.
Yes.
Ooh. I don't know how much I can do from a distance without touching something. Stop it. Could I try and get an investigation check to see if there's something else? Oh, you know what I'll do? With thaumaturgy, I can brighten light, and I don't know. Can I brighten the light of these lamps that were lit in the landing area to like see if I can catch anything underneath the suit of armor, like the shadow of a face or like something that there's something in there.
Sure.
So
roll me perception again with advantage, and then I want to hear, while you're rolling, I'm going to hear what Leonard and Akora's perceptions were to catch the breathing.
Just for clarification, the suit of armor that was breathing is the one in the landing.
Yes.
There
are 5 suits of armor in the landing, 2 on one wall, 2 flanking the fireplace, and then the one single one flanked by the 2 doors, and it's the one single one that you heard the breathing from. Akora and Leonard, what were your perception checks?
16.
Can I say that I skipped past it? She moved too fast into the room with the books to even notice. I want to see those books.
Also have Patsy roll.
Sure.
Cool. Patsy is a champ, you know? You got Patsy.
Obviously.
Okay, Patsy got a 16 too.
Oh.
All right. 16 is enough to hear it. So Leonard hears the breathing from the suit of armor as well. And as you pass just as Wesley comes out, and the oil lamps in the landing brighten as he begins to look into the suit of armor. What was your perception check with advantage?
18.
Right, you look in, again, very careful not to touch anything. And it seems empty.
Now that I'm like kind of closer, do I still hear breathing actively coming from it?
You still hear breathing, and you even feel the wet heat of someone's breath against you.
Ooh.
I don't like this.
So Gnigos has come out of the room after Wesley. He's right there with Wesley. Does Gnigos also hear the breathing?
Yes, you do.
And he's looking at Wesley. What's Wesley doing in the next 2 or 3 seconds?
I think I think having Gnigos next to me, I don't like whatever is going on here. We probably should be split. We should keep together just in case something happens. Something is going on here.
And Gnigos rolls his eyes, and he, not that, again, doesn't cleave, but significantly hits the chest of the armor, intent on like pinning whoever's in there, the suit of armor anyway, against the wall.
Now, I would typically have you roll an attack roll against this object or person or whatever. However, the moment that your axe makes contact with the plate metal, it buckles in the chest, the arms buckle, the helmet caves in, and in a second, it rusts. And the breathing stops.
Does that usually happen when you hit something?
When I hit something, it usually dies.
Hey, people are touching things.
That doesn't mean you get to.
Wait.
Akora, do you touch something inside?
Akora's been scanning. Yeah, Akora's been scanning the books in the bookshelves. the moment she hears people touching shit, she's grabbing like 4 off the shelf that she's interested in.
Cool. Do you want to make a roll about it, or you're just grabbing at random?
I'm specifically looking at things that catch my eye. So anything that you think on the shelf that would be of interest to a girl hunting Strahd.
You find books on warfare. You know that he was at one point like a warlord. That's how he took over Barovia before this weird split happened.
Okay.
You find books on alchemy. He is a mage. Maybe there's something in there. You do find a very old history book, so maybe that is going to give you some more information on this kind of mysterious older figure. But just grabbing it, we're just scanning really quickly through the titles. That's kind of all you find at this point.
Cool. I'll grab all 3 and then pop out of the doorway as this is happening with the alchemy book going, Wesley, it's a cool book.
Immediately as soon as she comes into my view, can I like roll an arcana to see if anything magical has happened to her?
Sure. Roll an arcana check, and then Leonard, we're going to check in with you and see what's up with you in this room.
Okay, I got a 10.
She seems fine. Those are some old books.
Can you at least let me hold the books for right now?
Sure, you want this one? I was going to read this one.
I'll take
Points
the one
to
on
the history
alchemy,
book.
and I'll
All right. As this bizarre interaction of like rusting statues of armor and book exchanges are happening, Leonard, what are you doing in these few moments?
I mean, I assume I followed Akora into the library, and then Akora grabbed the book before I, in vain, try to like stop her. Realize that's not happening. Akora leaves.
So you are left alone in this library with this mahogany desk and chair. There's like an inkwell on the desk, a couple of papers, a seal.
Is there
the
any?
books.
All right. We're gonna multitask here. I'm
Yeah, lay it
gonna
on me, Ian.
turn to Patsy. Patsy, I'm very glad you can read. Do me a favor, and if you happen to see any books that mention crystals in the title, squawk twice. And then I'm just gonna turn my attention to the desk and like see if there, like you said, there's an inkwell, there's some papers, maybe there's like a letter being written or some kind of.
Sure.
Because we were told that somebody would talk to or communicate with the Strahd at some point, or like Strahd came to this house, so
Yeah.
maybe some there.
I'm gonna have you and Patsy roll 2 separate investigation checks. One for
right.
Patsy looking at the books, and one for you looking at the desk.
Wouldn't you know it? We're both dumb as shit. Let's see.
This is not a smart crowd here.
Oh, but
It's
I hear
okay
it
because I
right
got a
now.
nat 20 for 21.
You'll love to hear it.
Who got the nat
So
20?
So that would be me, and then rolling for Patsy.
Damn, I was
with
hoping you
a-
would say the bird.
I was honestly. Oh. So this is the lowest roll I've ever seen in my life. So Patsy has a -4 to intelligence as a raven. I got a nat 1 for a grand total of -3.
Patsy is flying around. She's so distracted by the fact that you said to caw twice. Like she's so worried she's gonna see something, get really excited, and squawk too many times, and then you won't know what that means, that she in fact runs head first into the rolling ladder that helps people reach higher shelves. So that's what Patsy's busy doing. That Patsy's struggling right now. You, however, look across this desk. You see the inkwell. You see the quill. You see a stamp or a seal that has a windmill carved into it, and these sheaves of paper. And you think to kind of scratch Like, have you ever done that where you like
Like a leaf
scratch,
rubbing?
Yeah, like a rubbing.
Yeah.
You go to get a rubbing, and it's whoever wrote this wrote with a fairly light hand, so you don't get much out of it. You get at the top, my lord, and then something you can't quite read, and at the bottom, Durst, and you can't quite read.
Durst. Can I like history, see if I know any Dursts?
Sure, go ahead and roll me a history check.
All right, this is gonna be even worse. But no, it can't be
You
worse.
all do hear a thud and some books fall and some
Everything is fine.
Cool bird. It's kind of dumb.
what
That's
are the
very
rest of-
rude.
What are the rest of you doing?
Well, Gnigos is not stupid. He's poking with his axe at the remains of the armor. I don't know, did it crumble to the ground, or it's just standing up there all kind
It's sort of
caved in?
shriveled, like it's dented and collapsed so much it no longer stands in a humanoid shape, but it's not fully to the ground.
Is the breathing still happening? No,
The
you said that
breathing has
stopped.
stopped.
Okay. So he just knocks it over to see if it'll fall down.
It does fall. It clatters very noisily to the ground.
Okay. Philip loses interest and goes into the right-hand room.
All right. You
Philip,
enter the library and you see the
Gnigos.
same mahogany desk, a chair. You see a bird just sort of like trying to fly up, but it's pinned underneath
Let a
a book.
loose
that-
crow in here.
There's a crow that's trying so hard to get out of this book that fell on top of it. And you see Leonard leaning over the desk. Leonard, what did you get on your history check?
8.
You don't know a Durst.
Fair enough.
No, any
Gnigos kicks
Dursts.
the book off of the bird.
The bird
And
flutters
rolls
up.
his eyes.
The bird flutters up, circles your head once, and goes and alights on Leonard's shoulder.
You know, blackbirds in this area are like sacred and stuff. But I think that's a crow. I think it's is it Wesley? Is it ravens?
It's
that are really
ravens.
good. Oh, okay.
Patsy is
That's
a
not
raven.
Are you? They're usually
Surely.
smarter than that.
Is
Very
it?
rude
I'm just saying.
It's the weirdest looking raven I've ever seen.
The ravens around here know how to like use tools and stuff. It's cool.
A raven works in my soup kitchen.
Really?
I mean, works is a strong term. I let him take coins from one spot to a different spot, but yeah, it's helpful.
Sure.
Patsy
Cool.
is
So are we
plenty
like going
helpful.
further upstairs? Because like There's
is
nothing here.
No further upstairs. There is no staircase leading further up than this.
And these are the only
Shit.
2 rooms on the landing,
These
right?
are the only 2 rooms on the landing.
Maybe. Do we think that there's something under the mattresses?
I didn't see anything, but I guess we can.
touch
Gnigos
that.
I
already
turned to
going out the door.
Nigos.
He's already out the door.
Yep.
He's headed the other way. He goes into the other room and he kicks the 2 mattresses to the side.
He's already doing it.
All right. You
Very
kick the
matter
2
of fact.
mattresses. Roll me a strength check.
1.
Oh no!
It wasn't to move the mattresses. I wanted to see if you were going to explode them and have hay go everywhere.
That would have been amazing.
You don't. You do get them. You shift them several inches off. You don't see anything that's obviously like a door or a hole in the floor or something.
Okay, Gnigos is done. There 2 people are reading books. Another guy is playing with a drawn pencil, drawing things in the desk. He's done. This time it's the axe, and he just goes right to the floor underneath the left hand, where the left hand mattress was.
I love that for you. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
While we're distinctly ignoring the sounds of chaos in the other room.
Yeah,
It's
just
so loud.
white noise.
Amazing. Yeah, no,
No.
this is normal. I grew up in a monastery where people were sparring all the time. That's fine. Cool. I think I get bored of the history book really fast because, like, yeah, I
It's
read
very
those.
dry.
Oh, that's boring. I think Akora starts thinking about, like, oh, it's kind of like a cool fancy house. I wonder if it has, like, secret stairs and stuff. And, like, maybe we were supposed to find secret stairs. And so she's gonna just start, like, pulling out books, hoping that, like, one of them opens something.
I'm gonna. Does Akora have a staff?
Yeah.
I'm gonna, as Akora is like looking through books. May I borrow your staff for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go out to the hallway and poke the other 4 statues, because if they crumpled as soon as they made contact with Gnigos' axe, I want to see if they just as soon as they are receive any outside stimuli, they just fucking shrivel.
Okay, we're gonna start with Akora.
Yeah.
Follow Wesley.
Akora, make me, what do I want to call this? I guess an investigation check.
Yeah.
You're investigating badly.
Excuse you. I'm being very thorough right now. I'm pulling every book off of these shelves.
No. 3, no.
You want Patsy to help? I can have Patsy help you.
Sure. Assistance from the weird bird that I insulted.
What is Patsy helping?
I got a nat 20 from Patsy, if that's cool.
Great. You get one book in, and the next, you're fully just gonna go down the line.
Yeah.
You get one book in, Patsy goes, ah! And you turn, and as you turn, caught by the attention of this, it's definitely a crow. Ravens don't squawk.
Amazing.
As you turn, caught by this crow sound, you notice one book that's bound in red and has no title on the side.
That's not supposed to happen. Okay. She'll pull it down and look at the bird.
You
Sorry, I called
pull
you
it and you
stupid.
feel it pull and then catch, and the whole wall of books slides open.
At that moment, or just as that's happening, Gnigos rolls a 27 to hit the floor.
Holy shit!
And
Tell me your damage.
And 18 damage.
Wonderful. You actually
Insane.
get like multiple stone chunks fracture off the ground and like fly through there. You have a full, like, it's fairly shallow at this point, but a shallow hole in the floor that you managed to carve out.
Well, Gnigos turns now to the floor underneath where the other mattress was.
Gnigos, I think I heard some squeals of excitement coming from the other room. Akora probably found something.
Okay, so Gnigos goes out into the other room.
All right. Leonard, do you come back into the room with Wesley and Gnigos, having followed Wesley out to go check the suits of armor?
I gotta reconnect with Patsy.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Patsy
And the other
made
ones.
helped make a huge discovery.
Yeah.
She redeemed herself after getting trapped underneath the book. You have to go tell her she did a good job.
Give her a treat. The moment people are, like, not even once they're in the room, but Akora's, like, bouncing on her feet, just like, I touched things, and it did stuff. Look, it moved, the whole bookshelf moved. I didn't think that was a real thing. I didn't think people did that.
I stand corrected. I also didn't think people did a bookshelf.
Yeah.
Looking inside is a very small room. Unlike the library where just one wall has a floor to ceiling bookshelf, all 3 walls are covered in shelves of books that are completely full and spilling out. Wedged into one corner is a wooden claw-footed chest that is slightly ajar, and just beside the chest is a skeleton wearing half plate with 3 darts in its chest, clutching something in its hand.
Darts?
Mm-hmm.
Embedded into the half plate?
They're strong darts.
Jesus Christ.
Akora jolts forward as if to go touch, and then goes.
That was about. We don't have time to go through all these books. You know that.
I know that. Mm-hmm. But there's something in his hand. But, like, obviously...
We might have time to
he's
go
dead.
see what's in his hand.
Can I touch it?
Be careful.
Yes! Okay.
This time, Gnigos reaches and grabs Akora from behind, pulls her back, and with his other hand slams the axe down on the chest.
Smart.
Right. Like to break it in half?
Yes, he's not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
He's just very, very direct.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, careful. Smart.
Make another attack. I'm loving these inanimate object attacks. You know what? It's a still chest. Just roll me damage. It's You're gonna hit it. Let's be so for real.
With all the effort. I mean, siege attacker. We gotta give him the feature.
That's
Like,
okay.
truly, just give it to him at this point.
I mean, when we
He's
level
done
up,
enough.
I think he's just gonna get it.
13.
13. It cracks in half, and in fact, several boards completely fall apart from rot.
Ooh.
But it doesn't trigger any sort of anything. It seems like maybe what you can assume is another adventurer who came before you already triggered the trap and died for it.
So at this point, Gnigos puts Akora back on her feet and says, "Go ahead."
She releases like a fucking chihuahua, and darts forward to grab what she saw. But, like, we'll hold it up for a second. Look around at the fact that this body is entirely decayed. The chest was rotted. There was dust in the hall. And I think, like, you visibly see gears turning in her head. I don't think kids were living here. You know?
I can't believe I didn't think about that.
Something about those kids nagged me.
She'll shrug, and then she's gonna plop down to sit and open the letter.
Well,
So,
These bones! Doesn't matter.
he was holding a scroll.
Give.
I was just
Props.
waiting for you. You're right next to each other on my screen. I was waiting for you to go like this.
yeah,
and
that
then-
would. Hey,
I
if we had
could
planned
run
that,
next
that
door.
would be.
Post.
Wait, give it to me!
We can
No,
do that
I
in
want to
post.
read it.
Oh, damn.
Haelley,
You
you
can
are in
have
the
it.
wrong spot for my screen.
Damn.
It reads, "My most pathetic servant. I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality. However many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you have tortured in your dungeons, know that you are not the ones who brought me to this beautiful land. You are but worms writhing in my earth. You say you are cursed? Of that I have no doubt. You ask me now to save you from your wretchedness. I think not. I much prefer you as you are, your dread lord and master, Strahd von Zarovich."
Does Akora
So-
do it in the voice?
No. It comes out, your dread lord, Strahd von Sarovich.
Hardcore.
And Gnigos reaches and grabs the paper and looks. And looks at it. And then he can't read. So he can't.
Oh,
That's so sad.
Can I look at these? I'm fascinated by these darts. I'm so sorry. I feel like this is one of the things where the DM just says something offhand and the player minds it to no end. Can I make a roll to investigate these darts, see if I can pull them out, maybe to use?
Roll me investigation.
Cool.
Is your intent to pull them out and use them?
I want to see if they're normal darts with this investigation, and if they aren't, then I do want to try and see if they'll be useful in any regard.
Okay.
That is an 18.
Sure. You go and you look at these darts. They are the point of them, the actual weapon part of them that would pierce the armor is so unbelievably long and thick. You've never seen a dart like this, and just looking at it, of course it pierced this plate. Mm-hmm. First of all, why would anyone make this? This is an insane weapon. You would never use this just out on a combat scenario. But for a trap where you need something very small that could feasibly puncture really thick material, I guess someone like you could make this.
I think he mutters to myself, how did I not think of this? Obviously it was a trap. No human could throw a dart that could pierce through plate.
You do see, etched into the side, runes. Arcane runes.
Interesting. Would you allow me with that investigation to see if there are traps in this room?
Sure. It was an 18.
Yeah, 18.
Meets it, beats it. As you begin to look around the room, there is a small gap between. So basically, the whole wall behind you is open because the wall was the door that slid open. And all three walls that are left are covered in bookshelves and books. There is a small, maybe not quite Gnigos-sized wide area on either side of the door where there is just wall and not shelving. As you pass those areas, you feel a draft on the right-hand side. As if there is some open space behind it.
Concerning.
I'm gonna turn to Gnigos, since he seems to have a penchant for this thing. Hey, Gnigos, you in the mood to knock something down, maybe?
Are you giving me an order?
A polite request.
Sounded like an order.
Just if you're in the mood.
I don't take orders.
Heard that.
And then he turns and takes his axe and swings hard at the indicated place.
No roll necessary. Your axe hits the wall and passes through the wall that's only maybe 2 inches, 1.5 inches thick. And it buckles like a door. And if you choose to keep swinging, you can absolutely cleave your way through this bizarre door.
So Gnigos stops, and he looks at everyone. Nobody says anything, so yeah, he just starts to wail.
In a matter of moments, you've cleared an area that is big enough that if you stoop, you can get in, and certainly everyone else can get in as well. But beyond this opening are old very narrow wooden stairs leading up, covered where everything else has been a thin layer of dust. This is caked in dust and cobwebs and like rodent droppings.
So Gnigos is in front of this door because he just knocked it down. Gnigos has a night vision, dark vision. So does he see anything other than just stairs going up? No stairs going down?
No stairs going down, just going up.
He goes up. And nothing, looking up, there's like nothing obvious.
Nothing obvious, just you see where the stairs end.
Okay.
You can see like dim light, not like a light is on, but that there is a room up there.
Okay. Gnigos, perfectly comfortable in small places, lives in caves.
Yeah, I follow after.
Yeah,
I
will.
believe we were led into a trap, which has led me to another startling discovery. Those little weasels have my dagger. Follow along.
You all four make your way up this narrow staircase that is not nearly as long as the marble stairs between the floors, but are certainly narrow enough that Gnigos, you kind of have to like pin your arms to your side a little bit in places to get all the way up. But as you all reach the top, it opens up into a fairly small attic room with exposed beams at the ceiling, and the ceiling is peaked. You are at the very top of this house. This room has no dust in it. There are 2 small beds pushed together against the back wall. On one side is a small chest, on the other side a dollhouse. But what catches your attention most is what lies in the middle. Perfectly still, as if they'd been laid out to sleep. 2 very small skeletons, wearing the same clothes of the children you left at the front gate.
Think you might be onto something, Leonard.
And that is where chapter 1 is going to close for the evening.
Awesome.
Thank you all for playing, and thank you all for watching chapter 1 of Strahd Must Die. We'll see you next week.
Who?
Someone has to explain Strahd to this bitch at some point, and I think it has to be me. It's been fucking sidestepped by 2 other people. I gotta tell you about him at some point. It's gonna be the most
Lord.
teenager went to history class kind of explanation, but it'll be great.
By the time we meet him, I'm just at who are you?
Yeah, what are we doing here again?
What is happening?